Big Al.
Hello, everybody. It's Big Al with some more content from War of Nova. So, on this one, I'm going to give a couple tips, whether it's uh, season start tips or just starting the game tips. Because I have found out a couple and um, just wanted to share. Because hopefully, there's going to be a lot more people coming over to the game from Rise to War once their server's done. Since starting a server starting next week, you won't even be able to finish the server before the game shuts down. So, a couple tips that I have for you. It's Rise to War 1.0. So, if I want to take this tile, I have to path to this tile. So, I would have to take these three tiles to connect it before I take it. Okay? With that being said, ships are gold. You need as many ships as possible. Now, I'm going to explain one of the ways that to help you get more ships. So, just like any game, you have chests that you're going to open up to try to get more commanders or ships. Okay? And on this game is no different. You have your good side, you have your evil side. With that being said, I started on the good side. And the good side, you have your rare, epic, and legendary ships. Okay? So obviously you're going to get your rare ships before you're going to get any others because those are just going to be the most common to pop out. So you have the Emberhelm, Sylph, Radiant, and Resolute on the good side. Those are the rare ships for good side. And then I also got this epic for Hammerhead. So that's 5 ships. That's not a lot, okay? Because I have one for tiles, I have another one for tiles and pathing. I got one for siege and then 2 for pathers. Well, that's not a whole lot of pathing when you have to connect every tile. So you need more ships. So, first tip out is after you get your first few ships out of the good side chest, switch and start going to the evil side chest. Or if you're starting evil side, get those first few ships and then go to the good side for a little bit. So let me show you. Okay, these are all the ships that it has. Okay, and you can get one invitation. But as you can see, I got the invitations for all 4 of these. So now it's going to take more time. Just like in any game, it takes time and luck to get these other ships when you're just doing free to play. So after you get these ships, my recommendation is switch chests. Go to the evil side chest. That way, I can try to get these 4 rare ships, which are going to be a lot higher drop rate for the invitation. So I can just get more ships, so I can get more tiles path, I can get more tiles to farm, things like that. The more ships you have, the better off you are because you need the path, you need to take tiles, and then when you start taking planets, territories, the more ships you have for siege, the more you're helping your team out. Okay, so there is the first tip. Next tip. Okay, I forgot to release it. So, one of the tips that I want to give you is I think it will stay easy here. When you go to take tiles, you're going to have right here, it's telling you what the tile is, says if it should be very easy, easy, evenly matched, hard, or very hard. This is a decent indicator on the tile if you're going to take it, but don't always listen to it. Because with my Emberhelm, that's a 42, on level 200s, it just started saying evenly matched. On 230s, it says hard. and anything above that says very hard. Well, with that being said, let me go in here and let me go to one of these 260s that I've grabbed recently and let me see if it sees a report. Okay, that wasn't a good example. Of course not. Because I think I was a lot lower there. Okay, here's a good example. This 260, when I went to take it, it said very hard. Okay, the first hit, as you can see, I took no losses. I beat the first defender, and then here's the second one. I took no losses. But that indicator told me it was very hard. So, like I said, you can use that as a guide, but not completely. Okay, let me see if Hammerhead. Okay, Hammer says evenly matched, but 32. That's a 32 compared to my 40, and it just says easy. So those are the things, some of the things to think about. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about siege. Okay. There are two ships that have siege boost. The Radiant, right here, siege damage dealt plus 15. Okay, you're going to want to use light spacecraft, strike craft, because of the capacity. Out of 100 supply, you'll get 100 light units. If you're using medium, you'll only get 50. So you're only getting that plus 15 on 50 of 50 total units if you're using medium units. And then heavies are 25. So you get 4 per 100. So you don't want to do that. Okay, you want to use light craft. So the first one, Radiant for the good side, and then for the for the evil side, let me scroll down here. The Dread is the other one that has. It's this one. Nope. This one. It has another one that has siege damage plus 1, and it's on one of the subcategories, so it only gets 10. So this will get plus 10 when it's maxed out. So unlike Rise to War, where the evil side had all the siege buffs and the good side didn't have any, well, they had Haragon, but on the evil side was better. Now it's reversed. The good side has the better siege than the evil side has for the buff. Um, what else? Where else do I want to go? Just like in Rise to War, you do not want to focus on leveling every ship. You want to figure out which ones are good and useful for you, and you want to just focus on leveling that one with the mastery. Okay? On mine is a little different. You see a bunch of level 3s here. That's because I hard unlocked these before I got the invite, and the invite bumped them up to level 3. So focus on just say 2, maybe 3 ships to get their mastery up. Work on unlocking as many ships as you can because you need the tiles. You need the fuel. Don't let your main ship sit with full um, fuel. Fuel is stamina in this game. Let's go up to. Oh, let me click on here. In Rise to War, mind sharpening became very useless. In this game, it's called War Games, and it costs 2 Helion, and that's your AP, ability points, is your Helion. It is actually very beneficial in this game, which I'm going to send to go ahead and do that a little bit. You're going to get extra XP, and it is very useful. It does have the boost items, which I don't currently have. It also has down here War Games, and then is it this one? And then it also has a boost inside of your operations tech or your ring for how much XP you're going to gain. Now, when it comes to your ring, you obviously need the hot as much influence as you can get to level this up faster. You always want to increase your tile capacity. There's certain ones you don't want to use until you're fighting. Um, there's a couple here, like this one gains ship initiative, elemental power, ship's power. Okay, I didn't need those because I'm not fighting. I am more farming at this point. You have your resource ones, which are good. Obviously, early game. Let's see, down here, you have ones that will give you speed on movement speed, reinforcement speed, fabrication speed. And then it also gives you a couple other tech ops. And then this one is just like in Rise to War, your forts or your outposts. Increases the number, increases the durability. So a lot of this stuff can be related to Rise to War games compared to. So that is going to make it easier. I know the space theme is a little bit different, but hang in there. The developers are willing to help us. They are doing a lot of things to improve the game. They're taking our feedback, so give it, give them a chance. And us being here, this game only came out in May. It's still new. Being here at the entry level means a lot of us can give our thoughts and comments, and because the devs are willing to listen to us and take feedback, some of it they'll use, some of it they won't. But we can help design this game to how we want it to play. So, inventory. Your officers are your gear. Don't start upgrading too early until you figure out exactly which ones you want where. These supports are going to be harder to get. So keep that in mind. I went my first 2 weeks, I think, without a support officer. So we've talked about make sure you get as many ships as you can at the beginning when you first start. We've talked about tiling, we've talked about war games, we've talked about leveling up ships, we've talked about the ability points a little bit, which is Helion in this game. You do have your profile here. You can change your name up here, which is always good. You got your player ID, okay? And then it also shows you, your personal production rank and your war effort rank. Guild, a couple other features that are nice in here. When you go into members, it will tell you the last time somebody was logged on, where it used to only tell leadership that. So that's kind of nice. And if you see on me, it says online. Like this guy was on here. Who is this? Lemming was on here 24 minutes ago. Murdemasco is online now. So if you're ever wondering if one of the leaders is online, it will tell you. Yeah, we know Gene's had busy real life. So that's kind of a nice feature to have. Also will help those on it will help those people that are kind of pathing to different areas on the map, to different, say, oh, come on, to different crossings or whatever. If there's multiple people pathing to the crossing, you can talk to each other and look if that player's online. Say he stopped here. Well, you can look to see if he's online. If he hasn't, then you can continue the line towards this crossing. Um, okay, another good season starting tip: try to get to heavy units as soon as possible. I think no matter which race you are, heavies are going to be a huge key because they will help you farm tremendously better. They take a lot less losses, a lot higher defense, a lot higher health. Heavies are very good for um, PvE. You also want to use medium ships in the meantime. Light ships are very squishy and die easily. You have your chapters. Okay, on this one I'm on chapter 20. But you have all those early chapters. When you're starting the season, just like Rise to War, you want to rush through a lot of chapters as soon as you can. So don't waste your resources on buildings that you don't need for the chapters. And I'm going to show you that on mine. Look here, my resource buildings are right here. All the processing facilities, level 5, level 5, level 7, level 9. Okay, this is the one that is the metal, like in Rise to War. So that one I did a few extra times to get some extra ones. I mean, my repair bay is only 6. I'm not leveling up all of these bays and all the different races because I'm not going to be using those units. It doesn't give you resources like in Rise to War. It just gives you the different, opens up the different crafts that you can make, and then each of the strike crafts have different abilities. Like first 1 instance of damage dealt in battle plus 5%. Now if I had the Terror Squadron level 2, this would be 10%. Or say I had it level 5, this would be 25%. So the abilities of the strike craft are affected by what the squadron's building level is. But other than that, it's not giving you resources, it just helps with the abilities. But you don't need to waste on your Terra bays because the Terra bays, and that's because I'm in the race Terra, the bays only just help you level up the ship. So I'm making this one, then I go to this one that has a little bit higher defense and health, then I go to the last one that has an extra ability, higher defense, higher health. So don't waste resources when you don't need to. Marketplace is just exactly what it is. It is a trading resource. As you can see here, for every 100 minerals, I will get 80 water. So you are going to take a loss no matter what when you're doing this, but it's not as much as it was in Rise to War. So that's a good thing because you will need to trade resources for most likely titanium when you are starting to build during your season. Okay, so another tip, don't waste your hangar capacity. Don't just make a bunch of different kinds of uh, strike craft. Sorry, I'm still getting used to terminology. As you can see, only make what you're going to use. Okay, I had a bunch of these, but I got rid of them. It shows you the ones that you can make, but don't waste the capacity, don't waste the resources. Try to only focus on the ones that you're going to make. Like this one, this is going to be my siege unit, so that's why I have a bunch of them. I have my two heavies, one being the Morning Star, which is kind of like the Swan Knight, and then just a heavy unit. And then I have the medium unit here that I use on Hammerhelm, and I have a medium range unit, long range here. That's the other way on these. You can tell this one is a bigger bullet, so that's the long range craft. Has a shorter, that means it is short range craft. Long range, short range. Okay? And I think that's going to do it for me on the season start, game start tips that I have for the moment. So I'll leave it there. As always, make the most out of what you got.